Hey, how's it going, guys? I have a bit of a confession to make. I kind of like the microphones. I kind of like the microphones a lot. I kind of spent $260 on the microphones.
Costco membership.
Something came in the mail today. Everyone, I've been doing some thinking lately. Okay, I've been thinking on the old noggin, and I was thinking that, my last video was a little bit over the top, okay? A little much, a little bit cinematic, a little bit sad, a little bit devastating, some would say. And I thought, you know what, maybe for my next video, I should lighten up a bit. We should do a little fun unboxing thing. I spent all this money on these really nice vinyl records. Why don't I open them on camera? Especially since this is in the same vein of my last video, the microphones. Put it in big text, bold it, italicize it, fucking make it spin, reverse it, do it upside down, the whole spiel. So for those of you who watch the Good Enough podcast, you know that I'm an avid sitting down while peeing person, okay? It's just something that I do. Okay, it's relaxing. Just get over it. It doesn't make me less of a man, okay? Just don't say that to me in the comments. It makes me upset. And while I was doing my business, I was scrolling through Twitter when I saw that Phil Elverum was releasing a new box set that contained all of the major releases underneath his name, The Microphones. Now, being the Phil Elverum stan that I am, this was huge for me, okay? I had a couple of his records at the time, but, nothing to this scale. And so I said, you know what? Whatever I do, I'm gonna buy this item, okay? This is necessary. Especially because he said that some of the records that are being pressed in the box set will never be pressed again, okay? It's like the last time they're gonna be on vinyl ever. So I spent the next few weeks grinding it out, okay? I was door dashing. That's pretty much it. I also sold the Microphones albums that I already had. I sold my copy of The Glow Part 2, and I sold my copy of Mount Eerie by The Microphones. And one day, I'm driving down the road, and all of a sudden, my phone starts blowing up, On Discord, I'm getting notifications. At Jackson Burns, please check this out. I was like, okay, something's going on. So I pull over, and I check it. This guy named Quirt in the Anthony Fantano Discord, he said, at Jackson Burns, I know you want this. I'm hearing rumors that there are only 10 The Microphones box sets left. And I took a deep breath, and I said, okay, it's now or never. And not only did I buy it, but as far as I know, I bought the last one. Which makes total sense too, because as far as I know, I'm the last person to have received their box set. All my other friends have gotten theirs a couple days or even weeks ago, so. But ladies and gentlemen, you're not here to watch me talk about how I obtained this item. No, you're here for more than that. You're here to watch me open the whole fucking thing on camera for you.
Can you name some types of music for me to choose from?
So right now, I'm using the Sony a7 III to shoot this, okay? I've got a whole setup going. Maybe I'll take a picture of it afterwards if I remember. But it's my roommate's. It's not mine, it's my roommate's. And the thing about it is that I don't know how to turn on the autofocus. So I'm just kind of praying this is in focus. I've been messing with it a bit. I'm using the graphic on my shirt to dictate the focus. So hopefully that works. Because if it doesn't, then this whole video is for shit. But honestly, it's not a big deal. This is more of just a fun, relaxed one. If it's not, I'll scrap it. If it is, good on me. I'm a good AC, I guess. Oh, my fucking... Wow. Okay, there's a patch that would have doxed me on here, so I'm really glad I noticed that now. Let me black that out real quick. So kind of one of the things about getting packages from Phil is that he uses this really interesting tape. I fucking love this. Not just because it looks cool and adds a lot to the box, but it's just you immediately know that it's coming from Phil, and it just makes receiving his packages that much more exciting. Oh boy. Oh, I'm out of focus. Okay, ready? The Microphones box set ASMR. Holy fucking shit, dude. This is fucking massive. Okay, well, first and foremost, here it is. Oh, fuck, where's the focus? Check that shit out, dude. Oh my god, I love this design. The back has the same picture on it, but with a light out, which I think is really fucking cool. I know I mentioned this on my podcast, but I went to a Phil Elverum talk, and then I saw him perform afterwards, and he talked about, in the talk, he talked about this exact house, because he has a lot of pictures of it. He has a whole album that has it on the cover. He just takes a ton of pictures of it, but it's actually not his house, and he doesn't know the people that live there. It's like this old couple's house that lives in Anacortes, where he's from. And I just think it's really interesting that he's always taking pictures of this one house, and they don't even know that he's always taking pictures of it and using it for promo. So I thought that was funny. So just looking at it now, there's this really nice like band around each of the ends of the box, and it says microphones, completely everything 1996 to 2021, because as I'll mention later, this is not just vinyl records, this is much, much, much more. It looks like we also have a couple of poems, and then on the back we have the contents of the box, and it says 10 LPs, the 7 main microphones albums, a 107-page book of details and context, and an absurdly comprehensive downloadable hoard, which I think is one of the coolest parts of this. Okay, it also says, quote, the microphones, end quote, was a music and art project from around the turn of the millennium in what was then called the Pacific Northwest. These are the remains. Well, alright, I say we just, dig in, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. Alright, it looks like our first item on the docket. Don't Wake Me Up. Okay, here, what's like the best way to show you guys this? Sorry, I'm looking at a monitor right now, trying to figure out where this is in focus. There we go, Don't Wake Me Up. I love this cover, okay? I've always loved this cover. I like the nice, just sleek white look. I love the picture that he used, and of course the font. Just really impressive stuff. On the back, we have this really awesome scrapbooking design. I'll try to put in B-roll of all of the covers and stuff over me talking. But I really love this. This is obviously, Phil mentioned this in his talk as well, that all this scrapbooked is real. He really did this himself, and I think that's super impressive and just goes to show you how much he really cares about the music. Looks like we got something else in here as well. Whoa, holy shit. Okay, first of all, on this side we have this big, hold on, I'm trying not to block myself off on the mic. On this side we have this big ass like panoramic photo. I fucking love this, I can't wait to hang this up, but I might actually put it on the other side, which it looks like has a description of the album as well as the track list with its lyrics. Okay, so it says, Don't Wake Me Up by the Microphones. Originally released in 1999 by K Records of Olympia, Washington. It looks like he just talks a lot about the people that worked on the project, and then he says, in any case, it appears as an obvious tribute, and anyone unfamiliar with Eric's trip is implored now to get familiar quickly. You will notice the obvious inspiration taken here. Huh. That's interesting. I'll definitely have to check that out. So the record itself, I'm pretty sure is just, yeah, it's just black, which is fine. I think it works well with the record itself. I also just wanted to point out that the Microphones keeps a very similar style when it comes to the labels on these albums. I think that works wonders when he's trying to convey this message that the Microphones is like a big overarching piece as opposed to a bunch of separate different albums. Don't go, Edison, come in. You're good. Hold on, come here, I'll put you in the video. I have a question for the video.
Oh, wow, because I'm terrible with music stuff, you know that.
No, literally, I'm just gonna ask you a question. Just come in. Okay, everyone, my roommate just walked in the room. I'm putting him in the video because I've got a question to ask. Edison, say hi.
Bussin'.
Okay, what's up? Okay, how much money do you think that this vinyl box set is worth? If you had to guess.
Can I see?
Yeah, you can take a peek. So, here, be very careful with it. There's this record, the one that I'm holding in my hand.
The fact that you say be really careful about it.
And then there's 7 other records in here, as well as a photo book, and then like downloadable content.
A photo book costs a lot, that's for sure.
What do you think?
Okay, can I see the cover of it?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Can I hold it for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Feels really expensive.
Yeah,
Microphone. I think at least this looks like $200.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. It's like,
that was good guess?
It was like $260 with shipping.
Damn, $260?
You're not far off. No,
okay.
That was good. That was good.
Well, that was a good answer.
Just like that, he's out. I love that. Okay, that's it for Don't Wake Me Up. But next, okay, one thing that I'm noticing is that it's really difficult to get the records out of the box. Like, they're really tightly packed in there, which is like slight design flaw, but I can like past it as long as I'm not damaging the records. All right, I'm actually fucking really excited about this one. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm not as excited anymore. This is It Was Hot, We Stayed in the Water, his next album. I was hoping that he was going to do something cool with like these textures, maybe doing different textures, because I know he's done that on No Flashlight, which I also own on vinyl. So I was hoping maybe he'd do something similar to that, but, not the end of the world. All right, let's see what goodies we got in this one. What is with these panoramic pictures, man? Check that one out. That's not bad looking at all. I like that. Little sunset goes well with the theme of the album. I like that a lot. Reminds me a lot of The Pole, you know, the first song off the album, just imagery-wise. And on the back, very similar to that of Don't Wake Me Up, we have like a lyric sheet here, and then a brief description of the album itself. Okay, so the description for this one says, "It was hot, we stayed in the water by the microphones." Originally released as KLP 116 by K Records of Olympia, Washington in September of 2000. Recorded between September 24th, 1999 and March 6, 2000 at Dub Narcotic in Olympia, almost constantly as a way of life, living a block from the studio and lurking there every day and sharing every meal with friends. All of us drifting, doing our things in a wet, bone-chilling, concrete small city. Jesus Christ. The collage on the cover was made by Kayla Marek, okay, so not even by him. Cutting up photos of the sea and sky gathered from archives and from a specific expedition to Westport in search of the right light. I'm like not gonna have enough space on my walls for all these posters. This is a good problem to have though, I'm not gonna lie. Record wise, I'm gonna guess another plain black. Let's see what we got. And I was right, but like I said before, jeez, the freaking paper sleeves. Like I said before, similar label, right? You know, you got the same design as you saw from the last one, so really cool stuff. Okay, so up next, we have our first pretty big one. This one's going to be a little more challenging to get out just because of its size. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of the smaller ones out to get this one out, which is kind of starting to bug me a little more, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. Okay. Looks like we got Song Islands Volume 1 here. This looks to be our first gatefold, which I'm pretty excited about. So first things first, this cover is so interesting to me and always has been. It's really like an outlier in his work of album covers, I feel like, just because it's so minimalistic. And you can literally see the Sharpie lines on it, which I think is also just really uniquely Phil. We also get to see the little continuation of the ghost that gets cut off on the front cover, as well as what looks to be a picture of just a guy, maybe Phil. Almost looks like Kyle from Little Wings a little bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Damn, okay. So inside the gatefold, there's the two records. They didn't, you know, put it in the sleeves for this one. But we got more Sharpie art. I actually really like that. The style is just so interesting to me. It reminds me of those blots that therapists use to show people, just because it's black and white, I guess no other similarity. It looks like, as opposed to a poster, this one comes... What the fuck? Okay, this one comes with this really long drawing. Jeez, I don't even know what this is. Okay, so it looks like the water, and then a long space, and then at the very end we have Phil, it looks like, lying with his stomach coming out of the water. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get that closer for you guys. So on the other side we have another album description, and then we have a description of the songs, as well as the albums and projects they originally stemmed from, which is really interesting. Also, if anybody has the original 7-inch of The Moon, I will pay ungodly amounts of money for it. Please, please, please let me know if you own this. So the description for this one says, Song Islands, Singles and Rarities 1998-2000 by The Microphones. Here is a story with the cover art. Oh, okay, this is fucking perfect. I love this shit. It was painted by the artist Kyle what did I literally just say? What did I literally just said? I said, I looked at the cover and I said, it looks like Kyle from Little Wings. Guess who fucking painted it? Kyle from Little Wings. God, I'm fucking good. It was painted by the artist Kyle Field as a part of a frenzy of freestyle paintings that was going on in early 2000 in Olympia. The Microphones were releasing a record, Blood, that had 300 hand-painted covers, and so we gathered our friends and painted inside-out recycled LP jackets for a few weeks. This is so fucking interesting. These paintings by Kyle were too good to banish to only one person's collection, and got used soon after as the Song Islands art. I decided that the walking figure with the empty chest on the right is walking empty and warily through the world, encountering different mysteries and muses, represented by the floating heads. It also might be interesting to know that while Kyle was painting this, there was an open magazine nearby with a picture of Bjork's face. Wasn't exactly getting Bjork vibes, but I guess the more you know. Wow, okay, you know, this isn't my favorite Microphones release, but so far that has by far been the most interesting description. I love hearing the sources of the album art and material and stuff like that, so thank you for including this stuff, Phil. It means a lot to me, at least. Okay, that was Song Islands. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Uh-oh, I think the record's just fell out as I took it out. Okay, so interesting enough, I've already owned this record before. Like I said earlier, I sold it, so I'm assuming the interior designs and all that stuff is going to be very similar to that of the original, but I guess we'll find out in a second. I know that one thing that makes my fellow podcast host Jake upset is that the album comes with these white borders. Even the vinyl does. It's not actually, you know, thinner in person, but I think something that might make him even more mad is that it's actually sideways. It's also sideways. I don't know why. It just is. Here's the interior gatefold. Pretty cool stuff. I like this visual a lot. Very foresty, much like the actual album is, so good on you, Phil, for sticking to theme. As for the back, you get the track list, really interesting stuff, as well as this kind of patchworky photography type stuff. I love it. I think it looks really good. And yeah, as for extra goodies, it's just stuff that I already have. You can even see it in the wall in the background. I have this fold out up back there. It's right there. And then I also have this poster folded out right above it. This whole stretch is the same thing. If you want to see the back side, more song descriptions. Okay, the description of The Glow Part 2 is as follows. This was back when the studio was in the big old Olympia Knitting Mills warehouse building. Recording happened often early in the morning, usually alone, wandering in the giant room in copper light, lost in ideas. There are parts on this album played by other people, but pretty much it's all done by Phil Elverum. The cover is from a Dutch cookbook called Calvé Delft's Winterboek. I'm probably saying that wrong. Other side note, if you own this book, please also give this to me. I want it so bad. That's just the original. Having it would be really cool. I'll pay for it. Yeah. Alright, I think it's time to put the elephant back in its cage. Alright, we got our next fairly big one coming up here. Mount Eerie. I love this cover more than life itself. It's so well done. I love the drawing. I love the grit of it all. I love the mysterious figure that's being focused in the center. I just love everything about it. It just screams Mount Eerie to me. And the back is no different. Just I love this style of drawing. It's so creative. It just fits the vibe so well. I can't even explain how it does. It just does fit the vibe so well. As I mentioned before, this is another one that I've owned already, but I actually, when I sold it, I sold the poster with it. So this is the first time I'll be able to hang this poster up and actually keep it. I know I mentioned this in my microphones video, or maybe I didn't actually, but it's literally a visual representation of the entire album from start to finish. It's the journey that Phil takes to Mount Eerie, and I love that so much. He drew this, by the way. This is all his original drawings. See here we have him on the shore. Over here, you can see that the big black ship coming in the distance with the red sails. He travels through the valley. Sorry, I gotta look at this a little bit. He makes his way up the mountain when the voices start talking to him. Here we have the face of the universe. And then here we have the big black cloud on the other side, kind of sweeping him away until he's eventually eaten alive by the vultures and then taken into the infinite darkness. Just a very, very cool, interesting illustration that helps the listener understand lyrical content and I guess visualize the character that Phil was trying to portray. And much like the other albums, it's just plain black, but I have no problem with that, especially with the microphones. I think it just fits them. I think it just fits the microphones very well. Okay, so I probably know what you're thinking now. You're going, Jackson, Mount Eerie is the last The Microphones album before he brings it back with the microphones in 2020. That's probably it until that record, right? And the answer is no. You're an idiot, because we got one more in between, okay? We got one more, and that is the early tapes compilation. So this is just a compilation of all of his earlier tapes, kind of like a best of other stuff he was working on when he was younger, which is really interesting. I like this backside a lot too. I love the pictures of Phil with other people when he was younger, just because Phil always seems like this isolated figure. And so it's also just kind of nice and heartwarming to be like, oh, he had friends, good. Okay, it's looking like with this one we have another kind of long sheet here. Yeah, so this is just a kind of explaining the different tapes, I guess, that these songs come from. So we have Beautiful Face by Mostly Clouds and Trees, Microphones by the Microphones, Microphones Mixed by the Microphones, and Wires Plus Chords by the Microphones. And one actually that I didn't mention in my video called Tests because Rate Your Music seemed to be very wary of if it was an official release or a compilation album, and I just didn't want to get mixed up in that, you know, because when you get something wrong, people will fuck you, especially with something as beloved as Phil Elverum. Then on the back, we get more cool pictures. We get more really cool pictures of Phil as a little young teenager figuring things out. I love that picture of him with the Casio. I think that that's very, very him. And I also like this picture of him on the drums a lot, as well as the one of him with the girl in the bride's costume. That one pops up in Microphones in 2020, the actual video. And I just really like that one. It just feels very real and genuine. And as for the vinyl, black, oh, whoa, okay. This one, still a very similar vibe to the other labels, but this one's definitely different, probably on purpose, because it includes stuff that isn't by the Microphones, you know, like the Mostly Clouds and Trees release. But yeah, I'm very excited to listen to this. I think it has some songs I haven't heard on it before, actually, so stoked to hear what little Phil had cooking up in the studio, I guess. Okay, we have one more record to get through, and then the bonus content, but I just want to preface this one by saying Microphones in 2020 is such a fucking unique idea, and I love it so much. So before we look at it, I just wanted to say that, like, I've been taking the time to try to learn it on the guitar and singing wise. It's a 44-minute long song, so it's been kind of difficult to do. The guitar isn't super hard for someone that's a beginner like me, and it's a really good way to kind of practice, I guess, chord changes, because you have like the long, you know, and then going from here to here. It's just a lot, and it also has this really unique strumming style, as well as these really, I guess, hard to predict vocal patterns that make it really good for practicing playing guitar and singing at the same time, because you get to try to separate the two, you know, as different functions. So yeah, maybe one day if I ever get to making a Mount Eerie video, you'll get to see a snippet of it or something. But I just want to say that that's been a really cool opportunity that I've been doing, and I'm excited to hopefully share that with you guys one day when I eventually learn the whole thing, or get better at playing sections of it, or all of the above. With that being said, Microphones in 2020. Easily my favorite Phil Elverum album cover. Okay, fuck, watch out for that. Just so much work and thought put into it. I love the sparkly text over it. I love this photograph in particular. I want to get this tattooed on me one day. It's so fucking pretty. And I also just love how he has the entire lyrics printed out on the whole thing on both sides, actually. Here, it's actually connected, so if I do it like this, you can see it's one big piece here. During his visual talk that I went to, he actually mentioned this backside, and he talked about this little squiggle that he put in here. He said that he was practicing making this logo here. He was just practicing doing it, and this squiggle came out, and he said it was just too cool not to keep in. And he said it also just attracted the eye and brought some attention to a section of the photograph that probably wouldn't have any. And I thought that was really interesting, because I think that everything that Phil Elverum does is interesting. Fuck you, I love this guy. Whoa, okay, what the fuck? Okay, so we have this interesting little gatefold happening here. But we have little Phil practicing over on this side, and then we have this really cool tapestry over a keyboard of it looks like the house. I mean, it looks similar, right? Maybe I'm crazy. Someone tell me if I'm crazy or not, but maybe the same house. Okay, I'm actually surprised this one came with a poster, considering the photo book that he put out, which I actually have. Maybe I'll show it in a second. I got it at his show. It's like, for those who don't know, the Microphones in 2020, or Microphones in 2020, sorry, there's no the, is a visual album. It goes with the video of Phil putting these photographs down on a table, and you get to kind of watch his life unfold through photography. I think that's a really cool idea, and he sold a book of all of the pictures he used. I think there's like 460 something pictures in it. It's absolutely crazy. Much love for Phil for doing that. I love looking at it and just gazing through while I listen. But here's the poster. Okay, we got another long boy here. What? It's like, whoa. Okay, so first of all, we have this beautiful photography here of what looks like Washington. It looks like the same hills from Wise Old Little Boy, if anybody's ever seen that documentary of Phil and Kyle going on tour. But this is like the original draft of the lyrics. It's like the full lyrics, but it's with his edits in it. And you can see how he sectioned off the chords. Wow, this is fucking amazing, man. I'm just in awe at how he's doing this. Oh, you can even see the little edits that he does for the little side bridges and stuff. God, this is so fucking cool. Okay, I just discovered something. And either this is a mistake, a printing mistake, or this is done on purpose. Oh, wait. I bet that's actually not a side. Okay, I see what happened. I was confused for a second because I was like, oh, this side doesn't have a label? But the whole disc doesn't have any music on it. Like, this whole side of the disc is fucking blank. Have you ever seen a vinyl record that's blank before? That's so strange to me. It's so fucking shiny. I can touch it and shit. Like, look at that. That's fucking crazy to me. But yeah, they split the big song into 3 pieces. You know, a third of it on each side, I guess, and then the fourth they just left it blank. Really, really, really excited to spin that. And alright, that was the last of the vinyl records in the box, but we still have 2 more items to go. One I'll just do really quickly, because it's not really that big. I can't show you it, because there's my download codes on it. Blank, cut this out, I guess. So, a big draw to this, I guess, I would say, is that this whole box set comes with download codes for all of his releases. We have Tests, Don't Wake Me Up, It Was Hot We Stayed in the Water, Window, the series plus 6 others, Blood, The Glow Part 2, Little Bird Flies Into a Big Black Cloud, Song Islands, Mount Eerie, The Drums from Mount Eerie, The Singing from Mount Eerie, Live in Japan, Don't Smoke / Get Off the Internet, The Glow Part 2, Other Songs and Destroyed Versions, Early Tapes 1996 and 1998, Microphones in 2020, Foghorn Tape, Mostly Clouds and Trees Tape, Microphone Tape, Wires plus Chords Tape, Microphone Mixtape, and Tests Tape. I like how he also sectioned off all the tapes and added a little cautionary thing that says, below, early bad stuff only for irrational completists. Proceed with caution. That's good because I'm an irrational completist. So on the other side, because that's not all, we have stems, okay? The stems, which means like the individual sections of the songs, like just the drums, just the vocals, blah, blah, blah. I think that's what it is. If I'm wrong, someone correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I now have the stems to 4 of the songs on Tests, 10 of the songs on Don't Wake Me Up, 3 of the songs on Window, 10 out of 11 songs on It Was Hot We Stayed in the Water, 10 out of 21 songs on Song Islands, all the songs for The Glow Part 2, all the songs for Mount Eerie, all the songs for Don't Smoke / Get Off the Internet, all the stems for Microphones in 2020, and 10 songs of unreleased track stems. But guys, that's not it. There's more, because apparently that wasn't enough for Phil to be happy. I also now have 55 songs, quote, or whatever they are, of live recordings that have never been heard before, as well as 36 1.53 gigabytes of various unreleased songs. To say that I am ecstatic to now be holding this piece of paper is a fucking understatement. This is everything. This is literally everything. God, that's such a fucking cool thing to have now. And we now have one more item. And this one's pretty fucking big if I do say so myself, because now, with the last item, this big-ass picture book, I guess. So this is just a book filled with Phil's photography. Whoa, Phil's photography. As well as, I think, like, lyric sheets, things like that. Just a bunch of unseen drawings and art by Phil for his fans. And I'm not going to show this off, because this is something that I think is worth paying for. And I don't want to cheat Phil out of money. I would feel wrong for doing that. You know, I'm fine showing off posters that anyone can see in my room. I'm fine with just showing you what the vinyl records look like. But this book is for me. It's for people who have supported Phil. And I want to make sure that at least I don't slip up and sell someone's art for free without permission. But here's the big question. Okay, I've looked through everything that comes in this box. I haven't heard the records yet, but I've heard the digital versions of them. Pretty sure they're going to be pretty fucking similar. Was this worth the money? And the answer is completely yes. And I think that was pretty obvious, but $260 doesn't even feel like enough for this to me. There's so much available to me now. I have all of his major releases on vinyl. I have literally access to any of his albums ever, including unreleased content. I have stems so I could sample his work if I wanted to. It's just, there's so much to work with here. And just to know that I not only have, but I got the last one out of something that will never be remade. I have a unique piece of art that I get to say that I own and I paid for, and I supported Phil in his journey to create music that explains this crazy world we live in. Thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it. You know, support Phil. He's still selling a lot of these albums online right now. He has the photo book for the microphones in 2020 that I highly recommend you guys get. I think he's also selling this photo book separately. I'm not sure if they're sold out yet, but definitely go check that out. Yeah. One more time, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. I don't know what that was. I'm gonna go play my records. Just go home.